Hello, this is Geeks Assembled Audio Heads, and we are talking again about Callan. The Callan stories are a group of stories that were told or not told around, surrounding a TV show that was in the 60s called Callan. And this Callan is played by, they're adapted, by Peter Mitchell, who was the son of the guy who wrote it originally. And these ones are played by Ben Miles and Frank Skinner, and really amazing
And
actors, actually. Yeah,
don't forget Nicholas Briggs as
and,
Mr. Hunt.
yeah, Nicholas Briggs and
Jane
Jane
Slavin.
Slavin, and this time it's played by Beth Goddard.
Oh, she played Miss Woodbury. Beth Goddard is Miss Woodbury.
And then the guy Luboff, who they go to get, is played by Robert Portal. Okay, so that's the cast. With me is a cast of characters, a cast of fellas, and they are sitting under the swinging lights, waiting to be called upon to tell me their thoughts on Callan and the file on an awesome amateur. And let's start. Let's go to Lee first. He hasn't got. Nobody goes to him first anymore. So.
I know. I've got that sort of face. I really did. I enjoyed this one. This is the third one we've done. I enjoyed this one more than we did the last one. This was more. It was more comedy, but also more drama. You know, it was a good mixture. And the characters worked so well together. We've said this before, you know, Frank Skinner and Ben Miles and Nicholas Briggs. They worked so well together. But then the guest actors will come in. It was so good. I mean, I forgot the character name, but the Bolshoi bird watcher. She's so brilliantly done. I just think that's brilliant, that character. Yeah, it was good. And you got more. You get Hunter and not Hunter, Lonely and Callan. There was more of them together in this one. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm hearing more and more as you listen to these, Edward Woodward and Russell Hunter from these two actors. That I think they are channeling them. This is the third story in the box set, but I was listening to it and I was just thinking, I could hear them. So yeah, it's great. It's a good story as well. But we'll go into favourite moments and stuff like that later on. So that's my opening thoughts. I did enjoy this one.
Cool. Texas, what's your opening thoughts, man?
Yeah, I agree with most of that. I think it was good. It really does have that 60s TV show vibe going really well. I especially like the music. I like the way that that Callan had one up on his boss in a way, because he was checking up on the people he was supposed to be helping. And this kind of put the loud mouthy woman on the back burner in a way. She only shows up again towards the end, which I thought she was really annoying anyway, so I was glad there wasn't a whole lot of her in there. Oh, she just wouldn't shut up, Philip. Come on. Yeah, it was a great story. It was a nice little twist at the end, I think, because in other words, now the boss knows that Callan's smarter than he thinks he is, or whatever, because he thinks he's got Callan pegged. He's like, "Oh, would you like a drink?" And it's like or I know you need a drink now, or whatever. It's like I think Callan kind of showed him that he's a little bit smarter than he thinks he is. I don't know. It's a great dynamic. It's a really good thing. It's a bit. I don't know. I mean, it's like. It's very, very 60s TV show, and that's it. It's not full of surprises or anything, but I thought there's a really excellent dynamic with the cast and all, so I thought it was really fun.
All right. Philip, please.
Thank you, Susan. Yes, I would agree with everybody. This story out of the box set stood out a lot for me. So story one and story three, very well put together. This one's more close knitted. The characters were all put together nicely. They worked well in the dynamics, as Tim just said. The character of Miss Woodbury that Tim despises at the moment, I thought she was top notch. Right? I mean, for me, she was more man than Callan and Hunter put together. But the problem with her is she slurps her tea. And that's just kind of weird. I like a bit of her. And Loney was a lot more skillful and, great attention to detail with things that he's doing in the story. He's a lot more full on in this one. And I like the idea that Lobos is kind of like Blofeld to me. That's what he came across as, a kind of Blofeld boss. And I will say that there's a line in there. The woman in the bar says to Callan, Brandy is very good for shots. And she says Brandy is very good for shots. And Callan says, it must be, you look very relaxed. That made me laugh because I can imagine it's just all played out with too much brandy. But yeah, it's a brilliant story. The one-liners were spot on this. It was very funny along the way. It was quite funny. So yeah, that's my opening shot of it.
All right, thanks. All right, my opening thoughts are that it was really enjoyable. I love the sort of intrigue surrounding someone trying to defect and trying to secure that action whilst avoiding the KGBers and proving and then the proving Ms. What's her name again? Ms. Widgery, not Mrs., but Ms.
Ms. Oh yeah, I forgot that. Ms.
Like that was just
What a heartbeat.
getting around her and then Lonely having to break into her house and stuff. So that was, I guess, that was one of my favorite moments, was the whole setup for Lonely going and following her and breaking into her house. And yeah, so there was also a couple of really good fight scenes, and then there was a scene on the boat which was great. And so those are my favorite moments. Let's just keep going the same direction. Lee, what's your favorite moments?
Well, there's a few moments with when Callan phones Lonely up. He's in the pub.
Yeah.
And the landlord said, "Oh, him with wearing the flat cap and he smells." Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
And then also when Lonely answers, "Oh, all right there, Mr. Callan. How do you know it was me? Well, nobody else phones me." So the comedy is just there. It's deadpan, but it's great. Yeah, I can understand why Tim's not so keen on Ms. Because the character is written and portrayed to be that way.
Yeah.
In sort of grind your gears, and she does. But it's the character, as you say, is so bullshit, and as it's been said, he's more of a man than Hunter is. He's scared stiff of her at the beginning of this audio. Yeah. He is. He's sat behind his desk cowering. But that's a great character. Yeah. Oh, it's as you say, when he break into the house and they found all the money and stuff like that. It's just so well done, and the comedy's there. But it's having great drama, just a little bit of comedy there. It works so well, and you can say with the actors, they've got it off to a T. They really have. That's just a few of the things I like. So that's from my Susan.
All right, and Phil. Oh, sorry, Texas.
Well, I think Lee kind of stole my favorite moment was the bit at the bar. But
say it again, Sam.
Huh?
Say it again, Sam.
No, I'm just saying that I thought that was one of the highest funny points of the story, was when he called it the bar and it was like, "Oh, the stinky fella," or whatever he said. And then of course when he picks up the phone, he's well, nobody else calls me, sir. So I mean, yeah, that was hilarious. If I could point out one flaw, I think in the story, I don't understand why. I get the point that she's very bullshit or whatever, but I don't get why she's such an awesome amateur. Why was she needed for this thing at all? Is it just because of her friends or because she knows the guy or whatever? It just seemed kind of like, because Callan was very resistant at first to work with an amateur, which is why he investigated her with his friend. So I don't know. It just seemed like you don't really get to know that character very well. She has the brief appearance at the beginning, and then she turns up at the end. But I mean, the rest of the story is spent really like finding out who she is, I guess. But yeah, I thought that that was pretty good story there. I mean, like Lee said, he's got the guy cowering behind the desk, and that's why Callan was programmed to come in after 5 minutes just to break it up. So obviously he is terrified of her. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Philip.
I don't have a particular favourite moment, but I think the whole thing was just a favourite moment, the whole episode. But there are bits, I mean, there's a bit in the, I don't know where Callan and Lowly were, but they were in some sort of restaurant or food place, and Lowly's been stuffing a load of pork pie even before Callan came along, and he's like, I'm hungry, can you get me something? And he gets him another pork pie. I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny. And,
Yeah.
what else? There's something else. Blah 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 blah. Oh, there's a line where Lodi says to when Callan's telling Lodi that he's been to an art place, and then Lodi goes, "Art, Mr. Callan. You mean stuff that done by people that can't draw?" I thought that was a funny line. I thought that was very funny. That was quite cool. And the whole story just ran very well. I'm surprised that Callan got a bit slightly over her, where he had to have the secretary come and stitch him up and do him up. That was quite a close call for him. So I thought that was interesting, that he's not invulnerable as we thought he is. Because just because he's a perfect shooter doesn't mean he's not prone to damage. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. That was the good fight scene at the beginning. That was really intense, and yeah, he did suffer some damage, and she did have to put him back together. The other, yeah. So the other scene that was funny was where oh man, it just escaped me. Oh my gosh. I've got to start taking notes like Philip did. Oh my gosh. I'm getting so old these days. Anyway, so let's see. Is there anything that anybody
What's his young friend's name? I mean, his young partner name. They have a little rivalry going on.
Oh, Mears. You talk about Mears.
Mears, yeah. I thought that was an interesting matchup towards the end because they really do have a good back and forth. And they explained in the behind the scenes too that that's Dorney's favorite character or whatever. So he just if he finds they need to add something to the story, they'll just bring Mears in.
Yeah.
Or he would say that to the writer. And they have a really cool dynamic too because it's very competitive. Dorney was explaining they're like brothers almost, like an older brother and a younger brother. So I thought that was pretty clever.
Yeah, so I remember what it was. Luboff was a poet because of the whole situation with the KGB and stuff. And when they said that he was, that instead of making him just go to this thing, that he would say no, and then he would the KGB or the party, the Communist Party, would force him to go to Venice, like anybody needs to be forced to go to Venice. Anyway, the other thing that was funny was when when I think Lonely was asking about poetry, and Callan said, "Yeah, oh yeah, poetry," and he starts into a limerick, and it was you knew it was going to be a body limerick. So yeah, I love that sort of down to earth sort of sense about Callan and the other characters in this.
There was also one of the dialogue was Lonely again, where he's telling Callan what the woman was doing. He's been following her, and then he starts talking about he saw talking about owls and this sparrows and finches, and then there was a pause, and he went, "And tits, Mr. Callan."
It did.
Oh, it's typical of that character, just like that. It was brilliantly done.
I like that there was a small inference to Hunter's files on cases. The blue files are non-kill files, which is quite interesting. I like that. That's quite so you can imagine red files are the kill files. The yellow files are just like, soft stuff to do. So that kind of good little structure in there.
I think the last two stories were both red, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Or was one of them yellow? I don't remember now.
Yep. Well, anything you guys didn't?
No, I mean it didn't drag. I mean they don't drag. You get involved in these stories, and you just listen and listen for what's going to happen next, sort of thing. And if it does that, it's doing the job well.
I mean, it's for me. I don't know whether I'm having a cigarette afterwards or whether I'm in a bath in bubbles. I can listen to it and relax, and it just flows over me like a proper audiobook should do.
Well, I think I think it's because you don't have any expectations going into it.
Yeah, it's just flowing, easygoing adventuring, or storyline. It's very well done.
All right. Go ahead, Tim, please.
Well, I was just gonna say it's a real treat for the writer actually to be recovering and redoing some of his dad's work. I think because his dad was the one that created and wrote the original series. He's passed on, so I mean, I think it's a real treat for the son to come along and rework some of these old stories for Big Finish, and he does a very good job. I think that so far there's not been a dud in the bunch. We got a new set coming out in a month or so, that should be something to look forward to.
Yeah, set number 2, correct. All right, so let's do our final say and score then. Let's go to Lee.
Enjoyed it. It was really well written, well acted, funny in places, drama in places. So I'm giving it 10 mustard covered pork pies out of 10.
Gross.
And Texas?
Yeah, I'll give it a 10 too. It's pretty flawless. I mean, it's not the most exciting thing I've ever listened to, but it wasn't not at all bad. I mean, like you said, like Philip just said, it kind of washes right over you. So it's a lot of fun.
Yep. And Philip?
I'm going to join everyone else with a 10 stinky lonelies because it was good, and to me it's a better of the ones I've heard so far. It's a better so far of all the ones I've heard.
Yeah, I don't remember what you guys gave the other ones, but I'm going to give this one a 10 too. Yeah, it was enjoyable, and I did find a lot of really favorite places, like real gems, nuggets, delights in it. So yeah, so thank you all for watching this, and thank you for supporting our podcast by subscribing to it, and do like it or not like it. Comment below if you don't like us, if you don't like Callan, if you don't like Edward Woodward. I don't know what all these things.
Let's not sell the negatives here. Let's give it a positive.
I bet you everybody would like it, and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications, and also share this widely. Share this with your friends, and join us if you would like. Get in touch with Lee, and he's got an Instagram, and we have a Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook group. Please look us up, and then also come join it if you'd like. That would be fun too. And this week we're on our Saturday main cast. We're doing 1917, And this is around 1930s, 30 or 20s, 30s, and it's just like that one's just a little bit before that, and then the other thing that we're doing is Star Wars: The Attack of the Clones. So please have uh, have a listen to that as soon as or a watch of that as soon as we drop those. And thank you for watching this podcast, and thanks, fellas, for joining me.
Thank you.
Do do do.
Shut up.